going on, guys? Charles Weinraub, AKA the Handsome Homebuyer, AKA Captain Permit, and on today's educational vlog episode, we are going to explain to you the permit process. All right, so we are talking about the building permit process in Long Island, New York. And let's face it, Long Island, New York is probably one of the toughest, if not the toughest place to get anything done. A lot of red tape, just a lot of nonsense, very difficult. So I want to document exactly how we go through the permit process on a very high level, and obviously depending on the type of permit, is it going to be a maintained permit, which means it was already existing, you're going to legalize it, or if it's a new construction permit or a proposed permit, which means you're going to build something, whether it be a full house, a deck, a shed, finish your basement, whatever that is. But just to give you kind of a high level overview of the steps involved so that you can better appreciate your expediter and or your architect, as well as plan, because you know there's just so many steps involved. So before you're gonna get a permit, the first thing you're gonna do is, that's right, you're gonna call the captain at that phone number right there, mostly because you want the information to know what you should be doing, if you should be doing anything at all. The last thing we want you or anybody else to do is spend money on something if you can get away with it, or do it a more cost-effective and quicker way. So we're gonna give you our advice. We're gonna tell you, work without a permit, don't work without a permit, legalize that, screw it, try to sell it that way, roll the dice, call the town, let them come in there, whatever it might be, we're gonna tell you, and we have more experience than anybody, because listen, I've gotten in more trouble than anybody. 400 plus houses over the last 5 years, you learn a couple of things, okay? Now, let's say you have a situation where you need a permit. It's either a maintained permit or it's a proposed permit, whatever it is, we're gonna measure. You're gonna come out to the house, the architect has to come out there and measure everything, either what you're gonna build or what you're gonna legalize. Once we have the measurements, we put them in the CAD, we bring them back, we put them into the computer, and we draw the plans. We put all the measurements in there. We put all the information that each township is looking for. It gets signed, stamped, sealed by a licensed architect, and then it gets submitted to the township that you are in. When you submit to the township, you're gonna pay a small fee. It's usually $100 or $50 or $200 or some kind of nominal fee just to get the process going, okay? 99.9% of the time, and I'm gonna write it here, 99% of the time, the town is going to object. What does that mean? They're gonna find something on the plans that they're not happy about. There's tons of different plans examiners. They all have tons of files. They'll all look at the same file, completely different. And as a result, they will object. They will ask a question about something. They will require more detail. They will come up with all kinds of bizarre shit that you never even thought of, regardless of how many times you've tried to legalize the same damn deck in the town of North Hempstead. So they're gonna object. They're gonna send it back with an objection letter. They're gonna say, yo, we want you to fix this or this, this, and this, or if you're in the town of North Hempstead, they're gonna send you a 14-page document with 300 things that they hate about your shed, right? Because that's just what they do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna amend the plans at that point. We're gonna take it, we're gonna address the concerns, we're gonna put those on, we're gonna print them out again, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back and we're going to resubmit, amend and resubmit those plans. They're gonna go back through, they're gonna sit there, they're gonna go back to the plans examiner. Plans examiner gonna say, great, really appreciate you guys doing this, Captain. And they're gonna issue an approval, all right? Once they make an approval, you can pay for your permit and go to work. Now, the cost of your permit varies greatly. So if it's a proposed permit, it's gonna be the cheapest versus if it's gonna be a maintained, and I'll explain. So if you have a proposed permit, what they're gonna do is essentially they have an algorithm, which they'll tell you about, which is a dollar amount per dollar, so a percentage. So let's say they're gonna charge you, $10 for every $1,000 worth of work that you're gonna do, or something like that. Sometimes it's $100 for every $1,000, whatever it is. So, but they decide what something's worth. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna write on there, we're gonna say, it costs $5,000 to build this garage. They're gonna look at it and they say, based on our knowledge and information, we think it costs $20,000. We're gonna charge you X percent on the $20,000. That's your permit fee. Have a nice day, go to work. And that's how townships make money in the building department. What sucks is if you have something that exists most townships are gonna penalize you for the privilege of allowing you to legalize something that wasn't done properly in the beginning. So what that means is they're gonna charge you double, if not triple, in certain cases. So if you have a permit that would normally cost $1,500 for like a decent renovation, all of a sudden that permit is $4,500. So we can get really, really crazy depending on the extent of that. So that's something you have to be aware of and watch out for, okay? Now you have to deal with permits for additional trades. So typically, plumbers and electricians are gonna take out plumbing and electrical permits, but they need a building permit to attach to. So what happens is, as soon as you get that building permit, now the plumber is free to come in and file the plumbing permit, the electrician is free to come in and file their permit as well. That doesn't mean that you don't disclose from the beginning of filing the initial permit when you fill out the application of who your plumber and electrician are gonna be, but they are required to take out separate permits, which also cost money, in order to be able to get their sign-offs on their end as you go through the process. Now, then you go to work, you're building, they're doing their plumbing, they're doing their electric. You are going to have inspections out the ass, inspections for days. Let's go through the possibilities. If you have a maintain permit and it's already built, you need one building inspection, one electrical inspection, one plumbing inspection, okay? If you are building something, let's run the gamut. Let's say you're building a new house, right? You're gonna have multiple foundation inspections. They're gonna wanna see you dig the trench. They're gonna wanna see the rebar and the forms. They're gonna wanna see it poured. They're gonna wanna see it after that. You're gonna have a rough framing inspection, a rough plumbing inspection, a rough electrical inspection. You're gonna have an insulation inspection. And then you're gonna have final building, plumbing, and electric. It's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, who knows how many inspections. So it's very important to be running these things efficiently. Plan your schedule, because obviously we know in the real estate investing space, time is money. All right, now you have to be really, you have to be in the know, because certain inspectors aren't working on certain days. So like, let's say the town of Hempstead, or the town of North Hempstead, or the village of Freeport, or whatever, they might only have people inspecting every other week, or every other day, or for a half a day. So COVID has really complicated this process. You gotta be on it, you gotta know, you gotta be efficient, or you're gonna waste time and you're gonna spend money.